Morning, George.
Morning, Grant.
You look awful. What have you been doing?
Look around you, Grant. Most of these students aspire to nothing more than a corporate job. The desire to raise coke-drinking, TV-watching children who, as soon as they can speak, chant TV jingles and smash things with hammers.
You're really scaring me today, George.
Can't tell me I have an easy time with these students. I find them staring at me in a kind of bovine stupor, as if I were lecturing in a foreign language. Remind me why we shouldn't all just be annihilated.
You seem to think this is all a joke. We live in a world where nuclear war is a real threat. I don't understand how that doesn't concern you.
You're serious, aren't you?
Yes, I'm serious. George, did you even read the article I gave you on bomb shelters? Ours is almost done. We had 3 contractors work on it, so none of them know what we've got. And we're having the outside landscape, so no one will know that it's there.
Really?
If word gets out that you've got a better bomb shelter, then everyone will try to get in when something happens.
And so?
There'll be no time for sentiment when the Russians fire a missile at us.
Well, if it's going to be a world with no time for sentiment, Grant, then it's not a world I want to live in. After many a summer dies the swan. I take it you've all read the Huxley novel that I assigned more than 3 weeks ago. How does the title relate to our story? Yes, Mr. Mong.
It doesn't. I mean, it's about a rich guy who's too afraid that he's too old for this girl. And he thinks the young guy's gonna make it.
Russ. Yes, Mr. Hirsch.
Sir, on page 79, Mr. Proctor says that the stupidest text in the Bible is "They hated me without a cause." Does that mean the Nazis were right to hate the Jews? Is Huxley an anti-Semite?
No. No, Mr. Huxley is not an anti-Semite. Of course, the Nazis were wrong to hate the Jews, but their hating the Jews was not without a cause. It's just that the cause wasn't real. The cause was imagined. The cause was fear. Let's leave the Jews out of this just for a moment. Let's think of another minority, one that can go unnoticed if it needs to. There are all sorts of minorities. Blondes, for example. People with freckles. A minority is only thought of as one when it constitutes some kind of threat to the majority, a real threat or an imagined one. And therein lies the fear. And if that minority is somehow invisible, then the fear is much greater. That fear is why the minority is persecuted. And so you see there always is a cause. The cause is fear. Minorities are just people. People like us. I can see I've lost you a bit. So I'll tell you what, we're going to forget about Mr. Huxley today, and we're going to talk about fear. Fear, after all, is our real enemy. Fear is taking over our world. Fear is being used as a tool of manipulation in our society. It's how politicians peddle policy. It's how Madison Avenue sells us things you don't need. Think about it. The fear of being attacked. The fear that there are communists lurking around every corner. The fear that some little Caribbean country that doesn't believe in our way of life poses a threat to us. The fear that black culture may take over the world. The fear of Elvis Presley's hips. Actually, maybe that one is a real fear. Fear that our bad breath may ruin our friendships. Fear of growing old, being alone. Fear that we're useless, and that no one cares what we have to say. Have a good weekend.